Hey guys, it's technically Thursday with Redbeard from Redbeard's Overthunk Junk. Anyway, we're playing with a little dash panel here. I don't know if you can tell, we made some progress. These are just illuminated for effect. These will only flash with the blinkers. These are going to be our turn indicators for inside the cab. And we got the speedo hooked up. We got the little GPS tab here. It's got quite a coil of cable. We'll be able to mount that on a tab somewhere where it can get signal. But pretty nice little speedometer. Believe it or not, old Waffles had almost 60 pounds of oil pressure at idle, 58 I'd say. Pretty nice. I had a little fun getting that in. I had to run a, oh my gosh, had to run an 1/8 inch MPT pipe thread tap in there. And so I just cut it up with heavy grease and went a little bit at a time, pulled the aluminum out as I went, tapped the block, got the fitting to fit. No leaks. So our dash is, this panel is pretty much ready to go. But as you remember from a previous technical video, we talked about this little temp sensor, and I told you I was going to lengthen it. I've done it, and we're going to do another one here on tape. I'm old. Anyway, I've got this 2-wire thin shielded pair here. I cut 2 5-foot lengths out of it, and I've already run this one in. So you see here, I've extended one, and this one is the normal length. Now, this one is displayed, and we go to 2, which is the long one, and we're within a degree of each other sitting on the table. Oh, we're dead on with each other sitting on the table now that the temp's cooled. So guys, lengthening the wire did not affect the feedback. Lengthening the wire out did not affect the feedback in the temperature scanner. So what I did is really delicate, is I peeled back the coating here. We're going to zoom in a little bit and show you this. But I peeled back the coating, exposed all 4 wires, which is 2 sets on here. Yeah, anyway, I got that coating a little hot, but it seems to be reading, it'll be alright. So I'm going to take and split this one off. I'll pull the little factory shrink wrap off of here, and I'm basically going to build a booster and wire it in like this. When I get all done, I'll tape it all back off. Everything's going to be clean, but I'm going to be able to reach anywhere on the engine, anywhere on the transmission, and I'll be able to just roll up the extra. So I would rather have a little excess rolled up than have it pulled completely tight, because what this is going to allow me to do is remove these 4 bolts here and lay my whole dash out to work on it if I need to. So that's where we're at, guys. We're going to pause this video, and we're going to get set up, and I'll get seated where we can see everything better, and we're going to try to do this other one. And what we're going to be using are these, you've probably seen these advertised. My buddy Scott, you've heard me mention Scott, he's my electrician buddy. Anyway, he turned me on to these, and these have like a low temp solder in the middle, and you run the wires together, and when you heat them up, it shrinks down. It's got a seal on each end. They're really nice, and when they cool, they're very tough. And what it does, you don't have to crimp them or anything. You put the wires overlap, and you melt that in. The solder melts. It runs down on both wires and fuses them. So we're going to deal with some of these today, just using a little, this is probably something more your wife would have for crafts than a temp gun, but that's how low temp they work at. So that's the one I use for all my connections, because I don't want to use a big industrial heat gun and melt something I shouldn't. So that's what I do. Anyway, give me just a second, we'll get set up. Alright guys, look at this. So I've stripped back my wire. I've got both ends exposed. See that? I just peeled the shielding back. We don't need the shielding. It just happens to be the scrap piece of wire I had. And here's our loop, okay? I've disconnected the probe. It's sitting over here, hanging out. I've turned power off to this. Hold on. There we go. Now I have turned power off to this. So what I got to do now, this is nerve-wracking. I have to cut this out. There we go. So I'm gonna do the dark color to the black, the lighter color to the white. So I'll do the clear to the white and the black to the yellow. I'm going to peel back this heat shrink wrap here. The other one I took off, I really didn't need to do that. So this one I'm hoping I can just... I can't afford to damage these wires, and it does not come off. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I would recommend the second set of hands for cutting that shrink wrap back. I didn't like the fact I pulled that one off, but I've already done it. And there's like a little rubber grommet in there. I couldn't get the wires back through. So we're just going to have to roll with it. I'll tape it up and we'll call it good. But these are very small gauge. 2022 is the smallest stripper I have. And so I'm going to take and pull that. These are some old rusty Craftsman. These things are older than my son. I've had these since, I think I bought these in 2001 when I went into the industry. So I like those Doyles for most stuff, but they do not strip the small wire as well as I'd like. I'm going to expose a little bit more than you normally would. I just want to make sure I get a good solder on there, right? So there we go, guys. See, I've stripped back probably, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, a little over, okay? And now then I have to do this part, and there's no going back once you do this. So if I screw this up, the good news is it was only like $26. Bad news is I got to order another one and wait for it to get here, and I don't really have a lot of patience. So we're going to do that. I'm going to strip back quite a bit there. I have even less room for air on this end. So I'm going to twirl that up a little bit. See that? Well, my fingers are bigger than the wires. I get that. But here we go. There we go. And we're going to spin those back, okay? So you see that? We have those two spun back. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of my smallest ones, my white ones here. And these are them little, there we go. That may be an easy way to see them. And we're going to take this, and we're going to twist these wires tight. And it's a really tight fit. That's kind of what I was going for. If I have to, I'll move up a size. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push that seal, that white part that's the seal, I'm going to get that over my coating. So if you look right there, guys, it's probably pretty hard to see, but you can see my exposed wire runs through the solder. Okay, and that's what I want, because you're almost going to do like an overlap on these wires, if that makes sense. Hopefully I can demonstrate it here. Sorry, guys. It's trying to do this in real time so you can actually see what it takes. There we go. So you see that? Both wires come down and through. Alright? Remember, I'm going to go white to white and yellow to black. So I'm going to start them. I may just have to fight it and do them one at a time. I don't think I can. The other end's a little bit easier to work with. So what we're going to do, we're going to shove that all the way up in there. Alright? You see how the wires are overlapped there? And I'm going to take my little gun. Let's do this one more time. It is tricky to work in, and there we go. Good job that time. So I'm going to take this, and we're going to start to take and hold that. I'll hold that right there. There we go, guys. Wires are overlapped. I'm going to come inside of the other wire, make sure I don't hit it. And you're going to see these shrink down. And you should actually see that solder. You got to kind of work it around a little bit, sorry. And you should actually see that solder start to spread out. And we're going to heat it up. There we go, we're getting a good melt. It turns from opaque to clear. We got that in. I'm going to take and shrink this end down. See that seal comes in there? We didn't damage it too much with them pliers. And you can, you'll have to trust me, but you can actually see that center start to shrink. So you're just going to put some heat on this. Hey guys, I think we are good. So I'm going to do the other one real quick. Oh, sorry about the noise. We're going to do... quite get that one through. You want to make sure you get them overlapped. You know what I mean? Like I said, guys, this is a difficult video to film because it's so small. And I think we're good there. I think we're good. And let's try it. There we go. And let me get this in here. Alright, so that is the delicate end that's up against there. Hopefully this end here will be able to seal a little better because I will be able to move around a little bit. That was tight working on the back of that because they just do not give you enough. If I had any complaint about this little circuit, this little temp scanner, is they don't give you a lot of wire to work with. But for the price, I was willing to take a chance. So I'm going to force this down. Again, guys, if I have another size up I could use, I just feel the tighter I get this, probably the better. And it's going to seal better. You know what I mean? So I think it's pretty cool this is actually working because I had my doubts. But if you notice, it didn't really stop me. I knew there was a chance it wasn't going to work, and I did it anyway. So that's kind of how we roll here. We're willing to roll the dice on the cheaper stuff. So anyway, I'm just twisting my wires off. And remember, we're going to do yellow to black. And get that shoved down in there. And hopefully it'll be alright. And I think I can do both these at once. Was able to on the other one, so we'll see. The other one worked just fine. Oh yeah, we're getting good. We got good overlap there, and it sure looks like we got it there too. So look, guys, I'm gonna take and nope, these I probably don't want to melt them over the unmelted ones, but let's see here. Like I said, when I get done, I'm going to tape all this up. We'll make it look good and seal it, you know, after we test it. And, but guys, for, you know, even with the double wire, you could probably use any 20 gauge wire. It doesn't seem to affect it. And so you buy the little device for $26, And you got like $5, $6 worth of wire and a couple connectors. Probably not even $5 or $6, a few dollars worth of wire, a couple connectors, and you've got custom length temperature thermocouples, whatever you want to call them, contact thermometers. I call them thermocouples. But anyway, I don't know if that's the right word for it or not. But anyway, basically when you see everything turn really clear, and when you're as close as I am, you can actually see the solder. It like cracks and shrinks, and once it does that, you know you've got it hot enough. And both of these are hot enough. So we're going to pause the camera, let the wiring cool down, and we're going to plug it in and see what our reading is. Hey guys, so we have both of them spliced in on their extensions. Both of them are now 5 foot longer. We can reach anywhere on the rig. I will tape it all off. What I wanted to show you was temp 1, temp 2, within 0.2 degrees of each other. So again, we haven't really affected the wire. Thermostat on the wall tells me that's probably accurate. But look at this. Let's see if I'm on the right one. I may have to switch temperatures up. Nope. Let's see. There we go. I'm just putting heat on this to represent like your engine warming up. And the other one's getting a little bit of heat blown on it, I'm sure. But let's see, let's flip over. There we go. If we hit 212, we're going to get an alarm. Let's see what the alarm looks like. There you go. That ain't much of an alarm. You got to be paying attention. But anyway, better than nothing. So, I'll turn that off. There we go. That's it, guys. So this one's hot. This one is not. And look at our temperature. We're at 250 and falling. All right. And the other one's at 61. And it's still warning me, telling me that I got an issue. So, yeah, practically, it's going to be hard to see a little warning in the rig, right? But this is way better than having no idea what you're actually running for training temp or engine temp. Or, I mean, I guess if you were inclined, you could hook one to your rear diff if you were worried about it. Anywhere you can run the wire, you can put this through a bolt and have your contact temperature of what's going on. Sure. It's probably off by a few degrees just because you're checking external temperature versus internal. But if you know that, if your external temp hits 210 on your water, your internal is probably at about 220. So you still haven't blown the engine, but you know it's getting hot. So if you're looking for an option, I'd say it's a decent option. I'm pretty happy this worked. Hope y'all enjoyed it. And it's technically Thursday. I gotta work on my catchphrase. But anyway, we'll talk to you later.